The Rock has another soul, and it's Seth Rollins. He's just cost Cody Rhodes the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania and handed it directly to John Cena for his 17th. But they are now looking to increase the suffering of Rhodes, and on the Raw after WrestleMania, it's a brutal three-way beatdown, putting the entire roster on notice. But as his first order of business, The Rock sets Seth Rollins the task of finishing the job at Backlash in St. Louis. And it's finished the job he does, because after the beatdown, Cody is nowhere near 100%, and Rollins takes the win, but also takes it way too far. A severe concussion puts Rhodes on the shelf indefinitely. It's an immediate message to everyone in WWE just what kind of ruthless aggression they are willing to show. But what they also want to show is the power they have with The Rock on the board. Because as Rollins stands next to Cena, he says that because he beat a former world champion, he deserves a world championship match. And he knows some people that can make that happen. And they have. And it will be Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins at King and Queen of the Ring. But what about Cena? Will Cena have to defend his championship? Well, we get the answer, and it comes via the man who saves Jey Uso from the cheap shot beating he's getting the week after. And it's another flex of power, as Adam Pearce is powerless to stop them. But the man who isn't is the man who wants first crack at Cena's 17th World Championship. It's one of Cena's most famous rivals, and a man who has wanted to get his hands on him since losing to him in the Elimination Chamber. But he's going to have to wait, because Cena and Rollins dip out of the ring, and Cena, flat out, says no to the challenge. But Punk just laughs it off and says, if it was only your choice, John. You see, I've got my own special counsel. I have my own power. And before he left that sinking ship in Roman Reigns, I called in a favour. And that favour was that he organised me getting first crack at whoever the champion was after WrestleMania. So it looks like I'll be seeing your ass at King and Queen of the Ring. Jey, in his second defense since WrestleMania, is flying out of the gates. The crowd is still loving him as much as ever. And Rollins, with this new edge though, and the backing of the board, has already eliminated Cody. But he's struggling to do the same to Jey. And as always, he has a plan B. He grabs a chair from the outside and wedges it in the corner. And he threatens to slam Jey into it. But the referee, of course, warns him that if he does, he'll be DQ'd. And then she removes it. But as she does, and her back is turned, Jey gets a low blow from Seth Rollins. It's ridiculous. Rollins takes the chance to hit a stomp, pinning Seth Rollins. Within 2 months of selling his soul, is back on top. He now holds the gold alongside John Cena. But more gold means more power. Can Cena retain that power and silence the voice of the voiceless, who this time is flanked by the wise man, and Punk attempts to stop this new alliance in its tracks. And it's just like old times, with both men knowing each other so well that it's impossible to call. There's near fall after near fall, both men constantly throwing everything in their arsenal. But ultimately, as both men strike back and forth exhausted, with nothing separating them, we see an untimely ref bump, which opens the door for someone to get their own revenge. It's Reigns, and he's breathing fire. Paul Heyman looks like he's seen a ghost, but Roman doesn't touch Heyman. He slides in the ring, and he drills Punk with a spear. It's complete madness. But then Cena looks to attack Roman for getting involved, but he drops him as well, and the crowd is in total disbelief. And Roman looks at Cena and says, "You've got something I want, and I'm back for it." Roman leaves the ring, having decimated both men, and he chases Heyman through the crowd. But that gives a chance for the new world champion to help the current one. And it's Seth Rollins who drags Cena over to Punk and with great joy inflicts even more suffering on the voice of the voiceless, handing Cena the win to a monstrous amount of boos. However, with that shot from Roman, it might well have done even more damage than he thinks, because we get an insight in a board meeting between Rock, Cena and Rollins of the aftermath, where The Rock is pleased with Seth Rollins' performance, winning the World Championship and helping Cena retain his. But The Rock and John Cena have somewhat of a tense confrontation when it comes to family, because Cena went after Roman tried to help Cena. But The Rock says he wants to smooth things over and tells Cena to leave it with him. But the tension is very clear. But what is also clear is that Seth Rollins needs an opponent for his World Championship, and it ends up in a battle between Jay and CM Punk. But just as it's ramping up, Rollins blows the match apart with the chair. He smashes both men, causing the match to be thrown out. And we find out why, as Seth lets the world know, nah. I'm sick to death of both of you. So at Money in the Bank, I'm taking you both out at the same time. Enough is enough. It's a triple threat. It seems like a terrible move from Seth. Why have two opponents? Why have a match where you don't even need to be pinned to lose? Well, judging by the smug look on his face, it's all part of a grander plan. A plan B. Or perhaps, maybe it's plan A. But there isn't only one plan put in place, because the week before Money in the Bank, Cena is back and he has a bombshell announcement. I haven't made a single consultation with anybody. This is my decision, and it might not go down too well with the family, but I'm gonna keep this short. Roman Reigns, you wanna stick your nose in my business? Well, now you are my business. Incredibly risky move of Rollins to take a triple threat match is already rearing its head, because both Punk and Jay work together as the match wears on. Rollins is loaded onto the table by Punk, and Jay flies off the top rope to finish the job. And now, as expected, Rollins' title is in trouble, and he doesn't even have to be pinned, which is in danger of happening as Jay and Punk do battle in the ring. Jay lands a super kick on Punk, and now he can go back to the top. He flies off for the Uso splash, but Punk moves, and Punk takes the chance to lock him into the Anaconda Vice, and Jay is fading, but he is refusing to tap. He's fighting it. He won't give up. So Punk, knowing he's incredibly faded, lets him out, gets to his feet, and now calls Jay to go to sleep. Plan B? Or was it Plan A? That is irrelevant. What really matters is Seth Rollins retains, and this alliance with The Rock seems to have gotten even stronger with Drew McIntyre, a man who hates Punk and Jay more than anyone, and it's a man The Rock has long praised. But speaking of The Rock, we overhear a phone conversation where The Rock is currently flying on a private jet and John Cena is backstage, that we aren't supposed to.
John, I told you I would talk to Roman.
I could have smoothed this all out before it even got started. You went into business for yourself, and listen, I get it, but we need to be more calculated. But it's too late now. The match is up next, and I guarantee you, I'll be watching. Cena seems to have rattled the cage of the family, something no one has really successfully done without catching a beating. Which is why the stakes of the match, even beyond the WWE Championship, have now been raised. And it shows as both men go toe-to-toe in a pure one-on-one match after Drew and Seth were forced to leave the building by Adam Pearce. But you really feel like Cena doesn't even particularly need anyone to help. He's going every step of the way with Reigns, and the two legends, just like expected, bring the house down. Moment after moment, you feel like the match could end. Roman gets near falls, Cena gets near falls, and it's all on the line, and everyone is wondering what could possibly separate them. The Rock's private jet was bound for Money in the Bank, and he's here. He's here to make the ultimate decision, and he gets in the ring, and he screams at the referee that this is now a no DQ match. And the referee naturally wilts and has to agree. But who will The Rock choose? His soul or his family? Unbelievable. The Rock drops Roman Reigns. Cena walks over, taunts in Roman's face, and hits him with the 5-knuckle shuffle. He then stalks him, he hoists him up, and he drops him with an AA, and it stuns the crowd. Cena wins. He defeats Roman Reigns with the help of The Rock. And it really feels like this has genuinely shaken the foundations of the entire industry. But it's as we arrive on Raw after Money in the Bank, where of course Cena and Rock aren't even in attendance. We hear from Roman Reigns. And he says that this has gone far beyond any farewell tour, far beyond any wise man. He wants to face The Rock one-on-one. But he knows that The Rock won't have a match at SummerSlam. So he just requests that they stand face to face. But while Roman will wait to see if The Rock shows up at SummerSlam, John Cena is waiting for his next challenger. Because after putting down CM Punk, after putting down Cody, and after putting down Roman Reigns, he doesn't think there's anyone left. Oh, there is certainly people left for Cena, and this time it's one of his biggest and most vicious rivals ever. And the Viper attempts to strike, but Cena rebuffs and the brawl breaks out in the ring. But not only in the ring, backstage as well. We see Drew McIntyre and Jay fighting in the car park. Jay is getting his own back after being screwed out of his world title again. But he's not the only one. Punk and Rollins burst out onto the stage and they're fighting. It's chaos and carnage all over. And as the dust settles, with Jay, Punk, and Orton all standing over their rivals, we find out all of the matches are made official for SummerSlam. And as we get to the biggest party of the summer, all three matches, along with the face-to-face between Rock and Roman, are all promising to change the landscape of WWE. But Drew McIntyre decimates Jay. It's scorched earth. Seth Rollins retains in an instant classic over Punk. And most importantly, both are clean. As a direct message to the critics who say they need others to get the job done. And the main event is no different. Cena defeats his greatest rival ever, clean. But what happens after the match is anything but, because Rollins and McIntyre head back out to the ring to heap the pain on Orton. Rhodes is back. He nails Drew with a chair. He runs on further and then comes face to face with the man who is wearing the gold Rolex. Rollins runs at him, takes the chair off him, but he's not letting anything hold him back. And Cody Rhodes nails a crossroads on Seth Rollins. And now he wants to get at Cena. And Cena, being in full preservation mode and knowing he's probably going to have to face Cody in the future, lives to fight another day. However, Cody isn't alone in the ring long, because here comes the final boss. But as Cody turns to face the incoming Rock, Cena slides in and gets the cheap shot AA onto the very chair that Cody brought in. Then Cena clears the ring, and the Rock, without batting an eyelid, takes his place for the ultimate showdown with Roman Reigns. It's as tense as it gets, and the history does all the talking you need. However, both do say something that only the camera is able to pick up, and it starts with Roman Reigns. You're a phony, always chasing whatever the most popular thing is to make yourself relevant. You're not blood. You're a leech. I'm a leech. That's rich, coming from you, feeding off our bloodline, feeding off our family, and ultimately failing. I'm just doing everything you couldn't do, and you know me very well, Roman. And you know that I get everything I ask for. And I've asked for a lot, and I'm gonna get everything. It's uncomfortable, it's personal, and it feels like the beginning of a war. And a man who makes it clear that he wants in on the war is Cody. He gets the whole world talking after making some very interesting comments. I've had months of my career robbed from me. And I've had a lot of time to think. I've had a lot of time to plot and plan exactly how I want to get my championship back. But most importantly, how I want to get back at John Cena, who started all of this. I haven't won a single match since WrestleMania, and it dawned on me last night. I think I'm willing to do anything. Anything, Cody? Okay. Maybe there's hope for you after all. McIntyre and Rollins retreat, and it leaves Cody confused, but also very much thinking about his next move. And his next move is to challenge John Cena to a singles match, but Cena passed on the message to Adam Pearce that he declines. So Cody goes to the next best option, which is a tag team match. And he tells Cena to bring any one of his thugs, whether it be McIntyre, Rollins, or even The Rock. He tells him to bring it on, because Cody already has his partner locked. And as we arrive at Clash in Paris to find out who it will be, Cena makes his choice, and it's his fellow world champion and the man who initially took out Cody Rhodes in Seth Rollins. The big question is, who has Cody brought with him? Of course, to throw it in The Rock's face even more, Roman Reigns teams with Cody Rhodes for a wild tornado tag. There will be no tags here, no rules here, and the Paris crowd eats the match up. The history between all of these men involved is deep and personal, especially with Roman and Seth, who seem to throw a little bit extra at each other. But also, Cody and Cena get their chance as well. But when it all comes to a head, there's a somewhat tense moment, but not the way that anyone would expect. Because Reigns is stomped on the outside by Rollins, just like at the Royal Rumble. But with this being a tornado tag, it means no disqualification, and Cody is showing a darker edge, which plays into the fact that he's willing to do anything to get his championship back, and he's wielding a sledgehammer, looking to finish Cena off. But then, boom! Drew McIntyre collects Cody with a claymore, and the force of this group is showing to be far too much. And now, Cena stalks Cody. He wants an AA, but Rollins comes through and stomps him instead, and then gets the pin, which doesn't seem to sit well with Cena, who's twice had his moment robbed. It also doesn't seem to sit well with Roman, who is fuming about how all of this went down, which leads to he and Cody waging complete and utter war on all of The Rock's henchmen. And it threatens to hijack the entire show. Adam Pearce is running around trying to put out spot fires everywhere. Cody goes at Drew, but of course Roman goes at Seth. And then again, the numbers win out because as Pearce is separating them, Drew McIntyre arrives and drops Roman. However, with John Cena now watching from the ring, the backup arrives and it's massive. Cody's mentor, Randy Orton, and Roman's family and Jey Uso come out to make it 4-on-3. And it immediately backs up Rollins, Cena, and McIntyre to the ring. But as they advance on them, we see on the Tron that it's The Rock. And he has 2 words for everyone in the arena. War Games. War is exactly what this has come to. Cody, Roman, Randy, and Jey all trying to fight the good fight. And The Rock, in a rare appearance, is here to try and stop them. He finally gets the moment everyone has been waiting for as he and Roman go face to face in an official match. But it doesn't last long because Cena comes through and blows up the spot. He AA's Roman. And this time, it's The Rock who doesn't seem overly happy with it. But everyone else has been doing the same to Cena. And him taking out Roman leaves only 3 men left standing in the match. That's Cena, Rock, and Cody Rhodes. And Rhodes throws everything he's got at both men, but it's far too much. And once again, he falls to the power of Cena, who hits an AA. But then, controversially, The Rock stands in front of John Cena, and he takes all the glory by hitting a people's elbow and making cover. He gets the win for Team Rock. Cody is once again left crestfallen, dominated by the much more powerful force. His life and career has been tipped upside down since saying no to The Rock. But those who have said yes have gone from strength to strength, and The Rock has assembled everyone together for an unprecedented appearance in order to honor John Cena. And the way in which he does it is firstly to give Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins their props for helping Cena through his farewell tour. And that doesn't seem to sit overly well with Cena for a start. But The Rock does make good on his promise to honor him. And he says that the next PLE will be named Ruthless Aggression. And the entire show will be dedicated to John Cena, and he's even giving Cena the power of choice. He's giving Cena the chance to choose who he faces to defend his world title against. And Cena, with a chip on his shoulder, takes the stage to let us know who. You know, there's a lot of people who still don't think I can do this on my own, and that's fine. At my age, I get it. You know, there's people who think I need others to step in, and I get it. Which is why I made the decision about who I want to face, and that man is Cody Rhodes. This all started with you, so this is where it needs to end. For 25 years, I struggled and fought against an outnumber, and I won. Cody can't even handle it for a few months. So let's bring this all full circle, and one-on-one, you can learn the true meaning of ruthless aggression. Cena versus Cody, where this all started. Only this time, it's a pure one-on-one contest. And everyone who has said yes to The Rock and gone from strength to strength isn't anywhere to be seen. And this is where Cena will be at his most vulnerable. Cody is younger and faster. Cena is showing his age. He puts up a fight because that's just how he's built. But ultimately, it's Cody who's able to hit a Cody cutter. And Cena desperately has to roll out of the ring. And as Cody is fighting with the referee to get out at him, Cena gets up and is looking to stoop to the lows we've become accustomed to. He grabs a chair, but this is where the crowd actually starts to get behind him. They don't boo, they just plead with him to show some honor, to show some respect on this night, apparently in his honor. Cena actually thinks better of it. He throws the chair down and the crowd goes berserk. He's visibly moved. He's realized that the people were with him all along. They've carried him through all of his biggest moments in his career, and he salutes them, and the place explodes even more. Cena runs into the ring, and here we go. He fires off on Cody in classic Cena fashion. The crowd lift, cheering him on every single move as he hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. And he calls Cody to his feet. He wants an AA. He picks him up, but no, Cody slips out, and then Cody hits a crossroads. But both men collapse onto the floor in exhaustion, which then brings out the final boss. And he picks up the chair, and he slides into the ring, and he helps Cena up, and then grabs the chair, and he wants to hand it to him. He wants him to use it on Rhodes. But Cena, after taking a moment to look around at the crowd again, thinks better of it, and he throws the chair to the ground, and he defies The Rock, and he says no. But then The Rock stands deadpan, staring a hole through John Cena, and it feels eerily similar.
You know that I get everything I ask for. I haven't won a single match since WrestleMania, and it dawned on me last night. I think I'm willing to do anything